Good morning. Starting out with a pretty sunrise in Springfield. We've got some bright sunshine. It is 56 degrees, so still feeling kind of cool and pleasant and not quite August-like out there this morning. Some of us are a little bit cooler to the south and east. Most of us are where we were yesterday. It's 55 degrees in Branson, 56 degrees in Springfield, and a pair of fives up in Camdenton. Dew points are in the low to middle 50s, so it's another dry, pleasant start out there this morning with greens on that muggy meter map. At the pool today, highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s, probably nudging a couple of more degrees today than we had yesterday. It will be about 81 degrees as you fire up the grill. You're looking at a dry evening as well, with temperatures getting cool in the lower 60s. So 81 degrees today with sunshine, overnight lows back in the lower 60s. Tomorrow will be warmer, a little bit stickier, with some showers and storms possible late as we start to transition this pattern. We're going to swap out that cooler air for more humid air and some storm chances, especially by Friday. We'll have some showers and storms possible Friday and Saturday with some locally heavy rain, lightning, and gusty winds. Then you'll have that summery heat and humidity come back with those highs back in the lower 90s, feeling closer to 100. So big warming trend after today. Today's probably the last cooler day. You'll be warmer and more humid through the end of the week, with temperatures pretty hot by the weekend and into early next week, back in the lower 90s. Joe, Jen.
Lisa, thanks. Caller 10 is your local election headquarters, and we have been bringing you election results all morning, and we quickly want to take a look one more time at some of the bigger races. For Missouri Governor Mike Parson won the Republican primary with 75% of the vote. On the Democrat side, State Auditor Nicole Galloway picked up 84%. That's more than enough to win that primary. And this means in November, your major party candidates for governor will be Mike Parson and Nicole Galloway. Rick Combs is the Libertarian candidate for governor. Jerome Howard Bauer is on the Green Party ticket.
For Missouri Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe won the four-person Republican primary race, picking up 59% of the votes. Kehoe is Missouri's current lieutenant governor. On the Democratic ticket, it's Alyssa Kennedy who beat Gregory Upchurch. She received over 3,700 votes, rather, 100,000 votes. 74% is good for there to beat Upchurch.
In the Missouri Attorney General Democratic race, Rich Finneran narrowly beat Elad Gross. Finneran received just over 55% of those votes, and he will face Republican incumbent Eric Schmidt and Libertarian Kevin Barcock in the November election.
Big statewide question last night had to do with expanding Medicaid for more people. We talked about this with Dr. Calfano and brought you those results. It was close, but Missouri voted to pass that expansion. 53% saying yes to Amendment 2.
In Springfield, city leaders asked voters whether to impose a fee on short-term loan businesses. And with 98% of precincts reporting, the question received more than 14,000 votes in favor and more than 11,000 opposed. This means there will be a $5,000 annual business license fee for payday lenders, installment loans, title loans, basically any business that does short-term, high-interest loans. And the race for a county assessor only includes Republican candidates. There are 3 people running in this race, and it has not officially been won quite yet. With 99% of precincts voting, Brent Johnson is in the lead with 38% of the votes. Joe Durnell has almost 35% there of the votes, and Conan has 27%.
All right, some other news for you this morning. We're starting a series to take a look at parent preseason as the start of the school year is creeping up for many students. Nisha McDonald is live in the newsroom this morning to explain what this preseason is all about. Nisha.
Yeah, Joe, good morning. Well, Parent Preseason highlights a local teacher from elementary, middle, and high school who are offering some practical advice to families looking to start the school year off right. Now, I met with Pedro Benitez, who teaches 8th grade at Nixa Schools, and Benitez says not to be afraid to ask for help. Now that virtual learning is the new normal for most families, he says to seek out tutoring opportunities for your student. Now is also the time to get your kiddo back in the habit of going to bed bed early. And Benitez encourages parents to prepare children to wear their mask at school. He says parents are a top influencer in a child's life, adding if parents are on board and positive about the changes, students are more likely to be as well. And finally, Benitez says to create a checklist.
Be patient and be flexible. I know this year it's going to look like no other school year that we've ever seen. I keep saying that August 24th, our first day, is not going to look the same school's not going to look the same as it did in August as it does in November. It's maybe going to look a little differently again in February. With the information that we get, we're going to keep modifying the plans if we have to, just to make sure that safety is going to continue to be number one.
Now, as always, you can revisit this story by visiting our website, ozarksfirst.com. And while you're there, you can read all of our education-related stories by clicking on the tab Going to School and Staying Safe on our homepage. And elementary and high school parents, don't worry, I've got you covered coming up later this week. Reporting live in the newsroom, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
News from around the region. Sebastian County, Arkansas is now number 2 in the state for new positive cases of COVID-19. Governor Asa Hutchinson says while hospitals are managing their capacities, the increase of cases being reported could become concerning. Infectious disease doctor Ray Carey with Baptist Health in Fort Smith says the hospital has a surge plan in place and is prepared for a rise in incoming hospitalizations for the coronavirus or other patients.
We have a certain location for those patients. We have different intensive care unit for COVID patients and different medical floors separated from the non-COVID cases. And we have enough staff and enough vents and multiple teams ready for that.
Dr. Carey says there are many factors in the recent rise in cases, and he reminds people to continue social distancing and wearing a mask to prevent the spread of the virus.
The Missouri Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development is hosting a job fair today virtually. It'll include open job listings by industry, a chance for employers to host live chats and give presentations about the companies they work for and those job opportunities, and also speak with some candidates there for that. It's happening from 2 to 5 p.m. You can find more information at the website that you see right there on your screen, jobs.mo.gov.
In more local news, Ozarks Technical Community College is hosting an outdoor job fair today. This will be happening in Lot K of the Springfield campus from 9 this morning until noon. More than half a dozen employers will be there, including Arc of the Ozarks, Bass Pro, and Cox Health. No need to register, but come dressed for an interview and bring several copies of your resume.
Let's take a look at what's coming up for you on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, we look at the damage caused by Tropical Storm Isaias, leaving millions without power. Plus, how a potential new coronavirus treatment uses antibodies mass-produced in a lab. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
All right, what is trending today on the internet? You might see, of course, election results both locally and in Missouri. Big headline, Cori Bush has ousted U.S. Representative Lucy Clay, who had been in that position for 20 years. So she is a young woman. She is an activist and has led some of the protests after Ferguson. So this is a big deal coming out of our state this morning.
Something to watch there in St. Louis, also something to watch weather-wise.
Just cool and sunny out there today, so get out and enjoy.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching here on Daybreak.